In this video, I am going to walk you through how to quickly organize your literature and the knowledge within your papers using Lateral so that you can spend more of your time actually getting research done and enjoying your life. So, Lateral is a newer software that can be used and it uses AI to actually sort through your research papers so you can quickly get the gist of your research papers without actually ever having to read them all the way through. So there's going to be a link in the description below if you want to access Lateral. And if you sign up, you can sign up for a free version, which is what I am on right now. And you can see that you have a quota of 500 pages that you can use in their free version. And then you would have to upgrade up past that. If you're struggling on knowing what papers to read or how to generate your first research idea, make sure you check out my free gift, which is a 30-day research jumpstart guide. This is basically going to be like a comprehensive tutorial to Lateral for beginners. So, if you sign up, the first page you're going to see is your dashboard, and that's what this page is. And so you can have tons of different types of projects, and your projects will be here. This is one of my projects, but today I'm going to create a new project for you. There's a lot of different things you could do with Lateral, including planning out your literature review, just organizing research papers, looking at them to find new ideas, all of those things. Today, I'm going to walk you through how to create a project that will allow you to use snippets of papers to summarize each section of that paper so that you quickly have a guide that tells you basically the important parts of all of these papers around the same topic. So, to do that, the first thing I'm going to do is have a new project. So, I'm going to click here to do a new project, and then I'm going to enter a name. So, in my fashion, I'm going to do steroids and ion mobility, and let's make this a green project. And we're just going to click create and launch project. Once you do that, it's going to take you into your project view where you can start adding documents in. So if you click right here, it's just going to open up this little pop up here that allows you to add documents a couple different ways. The first one we're going to do is we're going to actually drop in a PDF. So I have a PDF that I've downloaded for a paper, and I'm going to go ahead and drop that in, and I'm going to upload that file. Once I do that, you can see here that it's analyzing the document, and it's going to take it a minute to analyze it and understand it. And then it'll say that it's ready here, and you'll see nothing along this side. So, similar to Notion or any type of table that you would use, this is basically your key here, which is the actual paper. And then you can add types of snippets that you're going to take from this paper. So, for example, I'm going to go under my concepts, and you can get here either by clicking the concepts or by clicking this plus and typing something in here. So I have a few concepts already that I'm actually going to use for that. So I'm going to use the introduction, methods, results, future directions, and I'm going to add one more, which is just a summary. So if I can find a good snippet that really summarizes the paper together. And so to add a new one, you just write one in and then you click create summary. So now I have these 5 different types of concepts and I can easily move them left or right just by clicking on the title up here and clicking move left, or I can rename them or remove them from the project. So now that I have this here, I have a couple different options up here. So one thing I can do is I can do a super search, which means I can search for anything. Let's just search for twins. It's a type of eye mobility, and it's going to pull up the options. Right now, I only have one paper in here, but if I had multiple papers, it would pull up all these options that I could use, and I could click on them and assign them a concept or something else. So this is one way to do it, which is basically to search for what you're looking for and then create it from there. And you can always get these to go away just by clicking this guy and it'll take it away. So that's one way to do it. The main way I'm going to do today is through document view. And so this is going to bring up a PDF of your document in here. And what you can do is you can actually start to create your own snippets or use Lateral's AI system to have it create snippets for you. So I can click create concept or snippet up here, and it's going to drop some of these down here. So the first thing I'm going to do is look at the introduction. And what you can see is right now it is suggesting snippets, and it says it's based on 6 saved snippets. And these are coming from my other project. So whenever you first go into Lateral, it'll say suggested snippets based on 0. And as you start saving more and more, it will start to understand what you mean by this concept and what you're really looking for. And then it'll get better and better at giving you snippets that really match what you're looking for in this concept. So because I've trained it on a few snippets, it's already giving me 2 that are really good. It's giving me one that's basically a paragraph on eye mobility, which is one of the things that's talked about in here. So I can save this and it'll save it to my introduction. And it's giving me another, which is basically the paragraph on steroid analysis. So now I have 2 really good snippets for my introduction. So now I can move on into my other ones. So let's go to my methods. One option I always have is just to take an actual snippet. So in here, if I think something is really important, so maybe this part I really want to be able to have access to, which is something about the complex mixture, and it's not always going to take exactly from the start of where you're going. So I can add this to my method section. So any part of this I can do just by highlighting it and then clicking save. Or I can use the suggested snippets. And so you can see that this is already starting to pull from this section predominantly. So you can see this is, if we go back up here, it's saying how things were calibrated. That's really important for this type of work. This is again showing how it's fit. And you can see up, that's coming from this part. So we could save that one. And then this is this first section here, which is showing how things were created. I already got the important part that I wanted from that. And this is another one that I really want. I really want all the background for how they actually did the work. So I'm going to save that one as well. And that's basically all I'm going to save for my methods. So then let's go to the results. And you can see, because this has already been given some snippets, it's getting really good at figuring out what I'm actually looking for. So if I just click on this, it's going to take me to it. This one here is actually starting to get into our summary, right? Like this is our last sentence. So I'm going to actually hold off on using that one right now. So this one is the first one coming from my results section, and it's really talking about the resolution of these isomer pairs. So I can add this too, and I can keep kind of looking through. And of course, because this is separating these figures from the actual paragraph, so part of these sentences are getting split, it's splitting them in its snippets as well. So I could add several of these snippets to really tell me what did they actually figure out in here. So this one's talking about abundances, and this is also talking about some limitations in here as well. So I'm going to save that as well because that's a really good summary of the results. So then we're going to get into summary. So you can see that this is in here. So this is this last conclusion. So I'm going to save that, but I also want to add this as well to that. So I'm just going to highlight it separately and save it as well. And then finally, the future directions always go to the conclusion section. And in the end of it should be its future direction. So this is the future work. So I'm just going to highlight it and save. So now that we have different snippets from each section, what can we do with them? So there's a couple different options. One, we can just remove them from that concept. Another one is we can add a note. So basically saying that this one idea that they had doing theoretical modeling is really similar to another paper already done. That could just be a really easy way to connect it. And I can also flag it, and I can flag it actually different colors as well. Last couple things is that here it'll show you where the snippet came from. So it's page 7 of this specific paper, and we can notify that there's a bug or it looks wrong, or we can cite this paper, copy the reference, or export it as a bib text. So once we've done all of that and we've gotten our information we want from our document view, we can go back to our table view. So now we have all these snippets placed in here. And we can click on them to kind of see the different snippets in here and go through looking at these different parts in here. So quickly, I want to show you what you can do to export this data out. So one, you can share this project. So once you create public access, you can then copy a public link so that other people can look at what you're doing here as well. But the really cool thing about this is you can actually export out this information. There's a couple different ways you can do this. You can do it as a table in Word, you can do it in Excel or as a CSV, and then you can also export out the bibliography. And this becomes really powerful because this means you can take information from Lateral and take your bibliography and put it in Zotero or Mendeley or EndNote, or you can actually create summaries for yourself in Word, or even create those in Excel and or create a CSV and upload it into things like Notion and organize further from. So what I want to walk you through is one, I just want to show you what an export looks like just as a table. So you can see in this Word document, this is all snippets of this paper. But it's separated out into different things, and you could separate it out even further or based on themes. But it also has my notes in here as well. So it has some sections of this and my notes, and it tells me where it's coming from. So this could be an easy way to summarize a paper or have a paper summary easily accessible where you can still access like what the people actually said. But this can actually become a lot more powerful when you have more than one paper. So let's go back into Lateral and we're going to actually add documents in. So the last time we added them in through PDFs, this time we're going to add them in through Find Papers. So I'm going to look for steroids and ion mobility. And I'm going to specifically require that it has the PDF because it's only going to be able to bring it in if it has the PDF. And I'm going to look for one kind of relative to what I'm talking about. So let's pull in this guy. So it's unable to get that PDF. Okay, so we're going to use this one instead. And so it should bring it in. So now we have our new paper in here. So now I can do the same thing. And when I go into search, if I search ion mobility, you can see that it's pulling from both of these. So you can search all of your things at once. So if I go into document view for this one, we can start doing some of the same things. So we're already on the introduction here, and you can see that it's already starting to figure some of this out, right? Like it's pulling from the introduction, giving me some information on ion mobility. I'm just going to quickly go through and add some of these. And from there, I'm going to go back to my table view. Now I can re-export this as a Word document. And you can see that now this is including multiple papers. You can see that when you're adding it from Lateral System, it's actually going to give it that reference. Where when you just added the PDF, if the metadata isn't in there correctly, it's not going to be able to give it that in text, but it does give it the number here. And you can see that the full bibliography is down here, so you know what it's being referred to. And so this gives you a summary, and if you have more and more, you would get a summary of kind of what the different things are going on in each of these sections. So the one other thing I want to show you is what this looks like as an Excel as well. So as an Excel, it doesn't show you what we saw within Lateral, where you can see the table here is the paper and then you have the different snippets. Instead, each snippet is actually its own row. And so it's going to give you the document, the concept, and then the snippet and the page number it came from, any notes on that snippet, and then the reference. So it's going to look a little bit different, but you can actually upload things like this into things like Notion to be able to organize these a little bit differently. In the future, I'm going to have a lot more videos on Lateral, including how to use it for different things like literature reviews or idea generations, and how to connect it with things like Notion and Zotero. But for now, I hope this gets you started being able to work in Lateral, and please let me know if you have any questions on how to use Lateral in the comments down below. Before you go, if you're struggling on knowing what papers to read or how to generate your first research idea, make sure you check out my free gift, which is a 30-day research jumpstart guide. It's going to be available in the description below, and it's just a PDF you can download and start working on how to develop your first research ideas and get started on actually doing that research within 30 days. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.